Yeah, I just noticed there was some lag in the previous stream, so let's try that again. Since I have, since let's say I have enough time. Forget about my low voice, because I'm sick, but I'll try to speak as much as I can. So let's do that again. Um, right, so my previous two streams, I criticized the game. I criticized the game in general and how EA should have make it better and what EA should have not done in the game. Um, and what things that should have been happened like way before. I mean, since the original 2010 version. But I did what I had to say in my mind. I cleared it off all of my chest. And the game itself, the mechanics, things that's supposed to be in the game, public lobbies, so on and so forth. But now, for now, I'm gonna talk about private lobbies. I didn't want to talk about this topic like in a very very long time since my retirement back in April last year, but I had enough. I couldn't wait much more. Um, don't mind the speakers outside. That's for prayer time. That's fine. Um, or maybe I don't know if you hear it or not. I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna continue. So, private lobbies. I mean, I had an experience, let's say, from September 2021 to September 2022. That's a year. October, November, December, January 2023, February, March, April. So a year and 7 months. A year and 7 months, I mean, taught me a lot of things. I learned so many things and I know everything that's been going on or it's been happening in the game. The first so the private lobbies, if you say so. Um, I'm gonna talk about the positives and then I'll switch to negatives. The positives of private lobbies are you can play with legit people. I mean, people who's not using cheat codes or mods. I mean, besides the 722 and the MOS mods, or maybe even car swapper mod. Like I said, you can play. People are so legit. Depends on what platform you play on. Um, they are, so friendly people. Um, you can, chill with them. You can build a friendship with them if you want to. That's fine. I mean, everyone is okay with that. That's the nature of the communities or private lobbies in the game, and special and in the gaming industry in general. Um, Private lobbies are, made into two categories, in my opinion. The first category is private lobbies who are, just, there just to chill. And I mean by chill, I mean, if you have a long day of work and stress, and if you want to, just to get rid of the stress and pressure of a day life, or of the daily routine, if you say so. You can just hop on the game, play with these private lobbies. That's fine. That's totally fine. Um, you can have a good laugh, which is one of their main points. By a good laugh, I mean, if you don't care about winning or losing, you just have a good laugh. You have a good laugh with everyone in the lobby, and that's it. Plus, you'll have a good game. I mean, if you will not care about if winning or losing, you'll just have fun, and that's it. Um, and the other category of private lobby is, no, I think I mentioned it before. Lol. Um, yeah, this is the positives of private lobbies, or the good thing about private lobbies. Now, now I will talk about the bad things or the negatives of private lobbies. So, if you're wondering, or if you're gonna ask me, come on, clown, what's the negatives of private lobbies from your experience? Okay, first thing is, or let's just say they've been sticking to one specific mode in one specific category for 13 years. And I mean, they've been playing Most Wanted mode and on the exotic or exo cars like since 2010. I mean, 2010, 2020, 10 years. 2021, 2022, 2023, and now 2024. So we will count 2024. That's for 14 years. 14 years. It's just so crazy, so insane that that these private lobbies they've been playing the same thing for 13 for a decade and a half, almost a decade and a half. It's just too crazy. I mean, they could have, switch or play different or alternative modes like race, arms race. I mean, don't count interceptor and hot pursuit. I mean, you have a race and arms race. I mean, you can do so many things in it. I mean, sure, most wanted mode is you have the whole map to you. You can go any way you want. You can play as long as you want, as long as you died as a racer or cop. But you do like you go through the same road, the same track over and over and over again, infinitely, non-stop, endless. How long? Like, doesn't that make these rooms feel bored? Like, come on. I mean, stop for 1 second and think about it. You play the same thing, the same routine for 14 years, for almost a decade and a half. I mean, don't you think that sounds so boring? Come on. I mean, if they could, I mean, they could have tried. I mean, at least. I mean, I would say the least. They could have played Super Series or Hyper or Performance. I mean, I will not count sports because it's so boring as Most Wanted. It's just one-sided. Once, Most Wanted or racers drop spikes, that's it. It's game over very quickly. But at least performance or super or hyper. But you know what the problem is here is these rooms. I mean, if you try to convince them to play super or hyper or performance, they will say, "Oh, super is too slow, hyper is too fast, performance is too slow as well as too slow too." Oh my days! Just give it a try. You won't lose anything. You will not get bored. I mean, if they've been sticking to exotic series, I mean, I mean, they ever just once in their once time or even one time only, ever get feel bored of exotic? Like, it's just I don't understand, man. I really don't understand these rooms. Uh, um, I mean, let's take a race and arms race. Race, you can select a specific track or a specific route, and then you go from start to finish. That's it. I mean, at least you can race, clean. I mean, sure, maybe you can bump someone else, and they will get pissed off and will try to get you. I mean, just that's a part of the nature of this game. Um, Arms race, on the other hand, is just like it's basically a race, but with weapons. That's it, and the AI cup, roadblocks, and helicopters. That's it. But at least arms race, I mean, you can at least pick the system and fight each other to the death, or let's say until someone beat up the other. I mean, it's not that. I mean, it's not that bad, Instead of going all over the map and memorizing the same routine, the same routes, the same shortcuts, the places where to drop roadblocks, the places to drop spikes, when to hit EMP, when to hit jammer, when to hit turbo. Like, I just don't get it. I just don't get it. I mean, sure, for me in the beginning, I mean, I didn't get used to it because I didn't play the 2010 game. Um, but after after 6 months, I found it's just so boring and so energy consuming, not time consuming, energy consuming, if you know what I mean. But if that's their realities, if that's their realities of these private rooms, I don't know what to do, man. And this is why one of the reasons that I retired too soon, after a year and 7 months, because they've been doing the same thing for over a decade and a half, like literally, so literally for a decade and a half doing the same thing over and over and over again. It's just so boring. I don't get it. I don't totally get it. I mean, they could have played Super Hyper just once. Just once. I mean, just one time a week, one time a month. And then slowly they will get used to it. Sure, Hyper is too fast, but give it a try. Why not? Why on earth you just do the same thing? Like it's like stuck in a cycle, in an endless cycle, a cycle that goes on and on and on and on infinitely. Like infinitely. You know what I mean? It's infinity, like non-stop. and you're the engine that keeps the this cycle alive. So I don't know what to do. I mean, it's too late now. I can't go back to Hard Pursuit Remastered because, like I mentioned in my retirement video, I mentioned my reasons, and this is one of them. That I got bored of doing the same thing over and over again. I mean, if I didn't retire, I would have tried my best to convince these private rooms to to change. Change is a must. I mean, not just. I mean, sure, change is a must on um, professional and personal scale, but even on the gaming scale, I mean, you have to change. You have to move on. I mean, if you're gonna continue this, if they're gonna continue on this, um, I mean, the only thing I can tell is it's too late. They can't be saved. They can't be saved unless if they have, some other games in their libraries that they can play. But as an online and social game, man, Need for Speed is a bad example. To me, Need for Speed is a bad example, especially Hot Pursuit. It's a bad example. At least, at least they could have tried Rocket League, GTA, Call of Duty, Rainbow Six Siege. Like there are so many alternative games they could try. Believe me, believe me. I'm not saying that so as I pretend. No, I'm saying that from my heart. They could just they could just you know they could just I don't know what to say. I mean, I mean, if you remember the 2010 game, it was shut down last year, the online servers. But for the as for the remastered, I will put all my money. It won't be shut down before 2030 or 2034 at least. And here's my speculation about private lobbies when the game will shut down. I forgot one detail to mention earlier. Another category of private lobbies is a private lobby who play legitimate. They play like in a very competitive way, or let's say private lobbies who has who's in it is elite players. Players who really mastered the game 100%, who are very skillful players. So yeah, back to the matter. My speculation about private lobbies when the game will shut down. Um, what my reaction will be? Of course, I'm gonna be happy. Of course, I'm gonna be happy that the game will shut down for good because it's been consuming the energy and time of these private lobbies. Sure, they can have fun, they can have a good laugh, they can socialize, but how you can socialize and play at the same time? I mean, unless if they have if they have private groups outside the game. I mean, that's a different story. But I'm talking about the game specifically here. I'm gonna be so happy if when the game will shut down. And as for these private lobbies, it's one of two things. There's no third. unless if someone has an opinion, has something to add on, they'll be fine. First thing is they will disband. They will disband because the game is over. The game is dead. What they will do? They will what they will do? Where they can go? How they will move on? How they will change? Because I think if the game will shut down, they were like it's the end. It's I don't know if it's the end of the world for them, for these lobbies or not. I don't care, to be honest and realistic. The other thing is um, maybe some of the people in these private rooms, um, they will switch to different games, like either like GTA, Rocket League, or Siege or Call of Duty. I don't know, man. Or maybe play single player games to I don't know to get the to complete the game, or maybe even try to platinum. I don't know. So, yeah, but like I mentioned, if I did not retire, I would have tried my best to convince these private rooms that I was part of to change for the better, to change for what's for the greater good. But sometimes you can't save everyone, even the one you loves, the one you love. And sometimes you can't force everyone to do what's necessary. Even in the gaming world, you can't force everyone to do something they don't like. And I don't understand, and I don't know how long this will continue, but the only thing I can hope for is I hope that one day someone in these private rooms will will do the change. I hope one day it will come. If not, the only thing that can happen for is just wait until the game shut down, and we will see what will happen. So this is all I have for. Uh, if any ideas that will come to my mind, I will make another stream for it. So yeah, this is about private lobbies of Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2010 / Hot Pursuit Remastered.